Hey mindful friends, welcome back to Bipolar Talks. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share if this resonates with you. Every bit of support helps our community grow and stay connected. Today we're kicking off something special, a new series called My Bipolar Guide. I'm so excited to walk with you through different life situations and how I personally manage them while keeping my bipolar symptoms in check. These aren't just tips. They're real-life experiences from someone living it day to day. And today's topic? One of the most essential pillars of stability: sleep. This episode is all about sleep, a huge part of my wellness routine. Some guides in this series will be lighthearted, but this one is especially important. In fact, for me, sleep comes second only to my medication when it comes to maintaining my stability. Let's talk about how I prioritize sleep and structure my environment to support it. What part of your routine do you think has the biggest impact on your mental health? Stick with me as we explore mine. Let me introduce myself. I'm Maya, and just like many of you, I live with bipolar disorder. While medication is absolutely crucial for my stability, sleep comes in right next on my list. Without good sleep, everything else can start to unravel. That's why I wanted to dedicate this episode to sleep and share how I build a routine that supports my mental well-being. Can you think of a time when lack of sleep totally threw off your day, or even your week? You're not alone. So let's jump in. To start off, one of the first things I do to set myself up for solid sleep is avoiding naps. Now, that doesn't mean I never nap, but my psychiatrist strongly recommends that I skip them unless absolutely necessary. For me, naps can rob my body of deep rest at night, and sleep is just too vital for my mental health to take that risk. Have you noticed if naps affect your ability to sleep at night? It might be worth paying attention to. Another big one, I steer clear of caffeine and alcohol. I gave up both not strictly because of bipolar, but for other health reasons. Caffeine was triggering migraines, and alcohol, well, it just didn't sit right with me anymore. I noticed it was interfering with my sleep and overall clarity. Have you ever tried reducing caffeine or alcohol? The change in your sleep might surprise you. Because I have a young daughter, setting nighttime boundaries is crucial. She knows if she needs something during the night, she should go to her dad first. It might seem small, but it prevents those middle-of-the-night wake-ups that can spiral into bigger problems for my sleep and mood. What boundaries have helped you protect your rest? I take Seroquel, and sometimes, with my doctor's approval, I take a slightly higher dose if I'm struggling to sleep or waking up too early. It's not a regular thing, but it's one of the tools I use when needed. Do you have backup strategies when your usual sleep plan doesn't work? Winding down is key. My evenings are slow, quiet, and cozy. I keep the lights dim, avoid late-night exercise or excitement, and let everything gradually power down. I even avoid playing rambunctious games with my daughter before bed. It's about preparing my mind and body for rest. How does your environment affect your sleep rhythm? I've done some personal tracking to figure out exactly how much sleep I need. For me, it's at least 8.5 hours, though 9 hours is ideal. During the week, I wake up at 6:40 a.m. because of school drop-offs and work. But on weekends, I allow myself to sleep in, which helps me recharge. And while many say people with bipolar should keep the same wake-up time every day, I do allow a little flexibility on weekends. Personally, I haven't found it disruptive. In fact, that extra rest helps me stay more balanced. Do you follow a strict schedule, or do you allow some flexibility for recovery? Sleep isn't just a preference, it's a lifeline. If I go even one night with poor sleep, I feel it immediately: brain fog, poor focus, intense hunger. And if it goes on too long, hypomania is right around the corner. Have you noticed how your mood shifts with sleep changes? Let's normalize talking about this. Now let's take a little tour of my bedroom. Creating a cozy, sleep-friendly environment matters more than we realize. I sleep on a fancy adjustable bed, not because I need it, but because my husband has a serious back condition. I enjoy the perks though. I set it to 0 gravity to read before bed, then switch it flat to sleep since I'm a side sleeper. What's your ideal sleep setup? Little changes can make a big difference. Nightly, I take about 12 pills for bipolar and migraines. I keep everything I need close. Satin pillowcases for comfort, calming wall colors, blue-gray is my favorite. and blackout blinds for total darkness. How do you make your space feel safe and peaceful? Now, my nightstand routine is practically sacred. From left to right. A small pillow as a body pillow. I'm petite, so this works great. Blue light glasses, my Kindle for winding down reading, and sometimes I skip skincare in favor of extra sleep. What does your bedtime routine look like? Little rituals can be deeply grounding. Let me walk you through how I organize my nightstand. And yes, I set it up the same way every night. A small pillow I use as a body pillow. Blue light blocking glasses for reading on my Kindle. Skincare and dental care items. All my meds and supplements in a tidy box. A sleep mask for those middle-of-the-night wake-ups. A compact lamp and a loud alarm clock. Not my phone. Earplugs, I swear by these. A glass of water for nighttime thirst and morning meds. A book I use as a coaster. A guide on bipolar disorder from decades ago, kind of ironic. Tissues, always nearby because I have rhinitis. A monitor to check on my daughter before bed. And a tiny luxury, my Tatcha lip mask, complete with spatula, which feels indulgent but oh so soothing. What simple item makes a huge difference in your nightly routine? Funny story, my drink coaster is actually an old book called Natural Medicine Guide to Bipolar Disorder. My parents gave it to me over 2 decades ago, thinking it might help. Turns out, the book recommends avoiding medication entirely, which I obviously don't do. But now it lives on as a coaster. What's something quirky in your bedroom setup that just works for you? One more tip. Temperature matters. I need the room cool to sleep well. I often start the night in socks and full pajamas, then strip down layers to stay comfortable. If I'm too warm, I just can't fall asleep. Have you noticed how the temperature affects your sleep too? Oh, and a quick behind the scenes. I'm recording this in pajamas, but not at night. I get too energized filming videos to sleep afterward. Thank you so much for joining me on this first episode of my bipolar guide here on Bipolar Talks. This was my guide to sleep, a deeply personal and essential part of how I manage my condition mindfully. I know your sleep routine may look different, and that's okay. I'd really love to hear what works for you, what doesn't, and what you've learned over time. I really hope it sparked some ideas or gave you comfort. Now I want to hear from you. What's your sleep setup? What works for you? Let's learn from each other in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this episode if it was helpful. It helps so much. And just a mindful reminder, this video is for informational purposes only. Everyone's journey is different, and it's so important to keep working with your doctor or mental health team to find what works best for you. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next episode of Bipolar Talks.